Heart Connections, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2
All
p.m.
right, all right. We're getting ready to go live with Heart Talk. We'll be right going. This is Adelai Brown, your heart coach, kinetichifi.com. All right, all right. It is 12:35, and you're tuned into Heart Connections with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, on your community station with international inspiration, kinetichifi.com. It is time for Heart Talk. It is time for Heart Talk, and I'm so excited about it. It is Thankful Thursday. Are you thankful today? Are you thankful for life? Are you in a space of gratitude? We've been talking about that today, and I want to ask you a question. Will you be made whole? Will you be made whole? Do you want to get well? One of the things I have come to realize as a coach and working with different women one-on-one and in group sessions and just doing research, where I'm talking about being thankful, and we're addressing some of the hindrances and barriers to us being thankful. But what I realize is many of us just have to be in a space where we have to look back, just really look at our lives and say, will I be made whole? Will I be made whole? I want you to think about that. There's a particular passage in scripture that I want to read to you. And it says, it's John chapter 5, verse 6. It's in the New Testament. And it says, when Jesus saw him, and it says, when Jesus saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, will thou be made whole? One of the things I realized that we talk about gratitude, and I talked about how we can sometimes mollycoddle or indulge in our pain and pay it too much attention. I want to go back and reiterate the thought and just ask the question again, will you be made whole? It's not so much about it's not about how you feel. It's not about what's going on with you. The thing that is really the big issue here is, will you be made whole? In this particular story, Jesus is talking to this man. Jesus is the one who can heal him. The healing is coming through him. But the question was, will you be made whole? And that's my question to you today. Will you be made whole? Are you willing to be grateful and express gratitude in your life? Are you willing to focus on the positive and allow that to shine and expand in your life? Or are you someone who you hear what I'm saying and you're like, Adelaide, that sounds good, but that works for other people. That works for those who haven't gone through the things that I've gone through. That works for those who don't have a family like me. That works for people who haven't messed up the way I've messed up. I don't want to hear that anymore. I don't want to hear those excuses anymore. And I've even done this to myself. I've told myself, look, what are you going to do? My husband likes to say, you're going to barbecue or mildew? Which one? Are you going to cook or are you going to be stagnant? Are you going to stay sick or will you be made whole? Will you be made whole on this gratitude, thankful Thursday? I really want you to think about that. Have you been feeling sorry for yourself? Have you given up in certain areas of your life? I know you have faith. I know that you believe in God, but I believe that there are certain areas of your life that you have been struggling so much. You have been down for so long. Maybe it's your relationship with your mom or your dad. Maybe it's your financial situation. Maybe you got a diagnosis as a child that has been plaguing you your whole life, and you don't even know how you can be grateful or give thanks in this situation. My question to you is, will you be made whole? Will you allow God to move in your life? I think that many of us miss this whole idea of thankfulness grateful and expressing gratitude because we are weighing too much. We are carrying too much on our own. We are trying to bear burdens that we were not designed to carry. Many of us are not able to be grateful and are not able to give thanks in all things because we are so burdened down. I understand that. I know that you have a lot going on. I know that your situation is difficult. What I'm saying to you is there is another way out, but are you willing to take it? Will you be made whole? Will you allow God to move in your life? Think about that. I know it's bad. I know it's scary. I know you don't want to invite people in because they may talk about you. It's scary to think that somebody could find out the truth about what's going on with you and that you really don't have it together and that you really are confused in situations where they think that you're confident and there really is chaos in places that you present that you have clarity. I get all of that. But at this point, my question to you is, will you be made whole? I know all of the bad things that happen. I know that these things have been going on in your life for a long time. But the question is, will you be made whole? We have nursed and caressed the wounds in our life for long enough. And it is now time for us to release them. It is time for us to allow God in to do the work that needs to be done. And I'm telling you guys, it is scary. It is absolutely scary to think about being whole. Many people say they want to be whole. People say they want to be blessed. People say that they want good things to happen in their lives. But when these things start to take place, oftentimes they sabotage those good things. Why? Because they never felt like they deserved them from the start. They, but in their hearts, in their soul, at the core of them, they don't believe that. That's why Jesus asked this man, will you be made whole? It's not a question of if I can heal you. I am healing. The question is, will you believe in me enough to be made whole? Will you be made whole? Or are you going to mollycoddle your pain? Are you going to mollycoddle, indulge in, pay too much attention to the pain and dysfunction and discomfort that has been holding you back? Think about that. It's time for us to let go. It's time for us to let go of, and this is how this looks. Let me get into that because I know some people are listening like, well, what do you mean? Some of us live our lives along the guidelines of the stereotypes that we've been told about us, directly and indirect cues from our families, from our communities, from media, news, television, radio. Many of us go along with the flow of life and it does not go along with the flow of our purpose. You may be someone that came from a certain area and where you came from, people like you have a stereotype. You may have come from an affluent family, but that doesn't mean that you don't care about those who aren't affluent and that you don't have a heart for people. You may have come from an environment that your community was full of poverty and injustices and things of that nature, but that does not mean that you're poor. It does not mean that you're full of poverty. Will you be made whole? Are you willing to live above the standards and stereotypes that the world and society have placed on you? Are you willing to let your light shine no matter how dark this world can get? Because the truth of the matter is, many of us are not living our lives to the fullest potential because it's not that we're afraid of failure, but we're more afraid of success. We are afraid of living our lives to the fullest potential. We are afraid of maximizing our potential. We are afraid of going above and beyond the social norms. Why? One reason I know is because it's lonely at the top. We see it all the time. We also have heard and watched people work at getting better and doing better with themselves, and we've heard the negative things that people around us have said about them. Do you have someone in your family or someone in the community that decided they were going to do something different? They weren't going to go with the norm. They separated themselves and they actually started to do better and started to become more successful in life in what they considered success. And maybe you heard what family members and friends and people in the community had to say about them. Oh, so she went off to school and now she thinks she's better than people. Oh, so she got married and now she thinks that she's doing better than me because I'm single. Or she bought her house and now she thinks. We hear those things. I know I have. Everybody doesn't have that story, but I know a lot of people who can relate. And when we grow up in environments where we hear negative things about people who are trying to positively grow and improve themselves, subconsciously we reject our own success because we don't want people talking about us like that, and we don't want people thinking about us like that. And what happens is we start to subconsciously reject being whole, because being whole means that I don't have room for the foolishness. I don't have room to house dysfunction in my life because I am more focused on being whole. I am more focused on doing what God is calling me to do. Will you be made whole? Will you be made whole in the face of those who want to stay broken? Will you be whole in the face of those who say they want to be happy and say that they're giving thanks, but their lives show dysfunction? Their lives show deficit. Think about it. Will you be made whole? Will you allow God to do this major work in your life? Or are you going to keep rejecting it? The choice is up to you. You think about it. This has been Heart Talk with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, right here on your community station with international inspiration, kinetichifi.com. Will thou be made whole? You think about it. I'm sure you will. Make sure you pre-order your copy of the new book, Help Save Me from My Broken Heart, Your Journey to Living and Loving Again. That will definitely help you on this journey of wholeness and thankfulness and gratitude as you change and renew your life. We'll be back with more. In the meantime, remember this? We're taking it back. You will know. You need to know how great you are, how awesome you are. And I'm thankful for you being here. This is from the Jason's Lyric soundtrack. You will know. I used to love this song. We'll be back with more. Kai Hi Fi.